So what if I told you that you've been stuck? The life you're currently living in is not truly the life you want to live in the future. You've been programmed to suffer and feel hopeless. You've been trapped in a system that was built to keep you obedient. But here's the truth, you can get out of that situation. So over the next 50 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how you can escape that situation. This isn't just motivational content you watch mindlessly on YouTube. The reason I make this video is because I want to share practical step by step so that you can become the best version of yourself that was meant to be successful. So without further ado, let's begin. The problem you need to fix is your mind, because every belief you have, the conscious mind that tells you to do something, the habits you've been doing for a while, these are all driven by your mind. I cannot stress how important it is to change how you view yourself, because your beliefs are the driving factor behind everything in your life. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is why you're stuck in this situation. If you want to get out of this situation where you're depressed, hopeless, and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, keep watching this video. See, you're stuck in the same version for years and you think this is normal. But I want to tell you the truth, your life is depressing. You think other people are doing the same exact routine for decades. Go to school, get good grades, get a job, and you think it is normal. You don't realize that your mind is downloading this information and process it in your brain. You've seen people work the same job, live the same house, and driving the same car. You think it's normal. It is not. You're stuck because you don't get yourself out and see how beautiful life truly is. You're just mindlessly following the program that most people are too scared to live. And the truth is, living the normal life, working 9 to 5 job, and make enough money to live is what most people want to do. Be honest with yourself. Other than just working the normal job, when were the last time you took some risk? I won't say you do some crazy shit like took some bets in casino. This is the risk that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable and force you to get out of your comfort zone. Maybe it was back in school when you were trying to make that handicraft, but now you seek comfort. You're already that drowned in the system. The reason why you're stuck is because you don't seek discomfort. You stop learning after you graduate from school. You don't push yourself every single year to make progress. And this sounds obvious to you, but you don't take it seriously. So what if you get out of that situation and feel the fire inside of you, the feeling of living life like when you were a kid, that little bit of excitement every time you woke up on Sunday? So here's how to get out of that situation. So first, I want you to be brave and expose yourself to the world. Took some risks in your life. I'm not saying you do some crazy sports or jumping out of cliff, but took some risks that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable and challenge yourself every single day. Second, you need to constantly make progress. And this is why you need to be obsessed with your journey. So let's say you start building your skills through content creation. You start learning about copywriting, how to make thumbnails, how to edit video, and how to communicate better. And third, you need to be patient in everything. Everything that is good takes time, and you need to realize that time is the variable that measure your success. Always be patient and think in the long term. You see, it's not that hard to get out of that situation. You just need to commit to yourself and take it seriously, because this is your life and no one is coming to save you, even your parents. In the very few years of your life, you can always make some foolish mistakes and come back stronger. This is the time when you play all out and take some calculated risk in your life. But it's easier said than done, and life is not that simple. So you need to build the 3 mental models so that if you feel like you're quitting, those beliefs, the faith inside of you that you can achieve something will help you. So the first step to build the mental models is to build the beliefs. You see, most people don't believe how big they can achieve in this life because they reject themselves by the time they graduate from school. If you always feel like that you're not good enough, that you can't achieve that goals, you need to build the beliefs. This will sound cliche, but everything that you want to achieve in this life is in your mind. If you can imagine yourself working 8 hours a day for the next 40 years, you can imagine yourself working just 1 hour a day to build your future. So the problem is that your belief, you don't have the belief that transcends into reality. The question is, how do you rebuild the belief that convinces you to follow the social program to work 8 hours a day, 5 times per week for the next 40 years? It's simple. Stop believing in them. But because she instilled these beliefs in your mind and you think that's the truth, it's hard to delete all of this information and build your own beliefs. So, this is what I did 3 years ago when I stopped caring about the world. And you see, I made so much progress in my health, wealth, and relationships. Here's how to build the beliefs. So, first, accept that you don't want the life that most people currently live in. You want to choose what work you want to do. You want to choose what routine you want to build. Second, listen to people whose life you want to have in the future. Listen to these entrepreneurs who make money online rather than just random 9 to 5 people you meet on a daily basis when it comes to make money online, building business, and living better life. And third, do the habits of your future self. So you start lifting weights 5 times per week, start working on your business 4 to 6 hours a day. You start learn about economics, psychology, philosophy to have that beliefs that force you to take action and transcends your imagination to reality. You got to follow the 3 steps I told you. And 3 years ago, I don't have people in my life that were driven into online business. So I decided to consume Alex Hormozi content, Alex Becker. I read a book about psychology, economics, and overall self-improvement. Now that I've built the belief of successful entrepreneur, I have 100% confidence in myself, and I think there's zero chance that I will quit in this journey because I instilled the beliefs of people I want to surround with in the future. I became one of them, and it's easier for me to continue to do hard work and push myself further every single day. And the truth is, it takes years to build these beliefs so that every time you're exhausted, not seeing progress in this journey, you don't quit, but you reflect on your strategy, learn from successful people, and come up with better ideas. And I promise, as the time goes by, you will start have confidence in yourself. So, to build the beliefs, you need to instill the opinions of successful people. But if you don't validate the idea, your mind won't accept it as the truth. It's kind of like when you are an athlete, but you still smoking, drinking, and eating junk food. To validate the idea that you are an athlete, you need to exercise daily, track your progress, and stop smoking, drinking, and doing bad habits. This makes your mind believe that, oh shit, now I'm an athlete. The beliefs are not enough to build the mental models. So the second step is to prove your actions. You know, it's easy to consume content on social media, listening to this business podcast and reading book about business, economics, or self-improvement. But if you don't take that knowledge, that information into real actions, you don't validate the idea. I learned that in mathematics, if you want to prove something wrong, you just need one idea to invalidate it. Basically, you don't need to check every possibility to prove the idea is wrong. Pretty much the same thing applies in your beliefs. So let's say you start your fitness journey, and you know it takes months or even years to build the beliefs that you are lifting weights. But because you keep cheating on your diet, you keep eating that junk food, you're not consistent with your workout routine. Even though you're still training and you're still going to the gym, but your mind believes that you're not someone who lifts weights. Basically, you invalidate your beliefs. And this is why when you go to the gym, you see someone who've been lifting weight for 5 years, they don't make so much progress. It's not about steroids. It's because their beliefs still the same. They just lifting weights because it's just the habits. They don't change their diet. They don't research about fitness. They don't learn about different type of exercise. And this is why if you ever experience that you've been doing something in your life for a while, like lifting weights for the past 3 years, but you don't make that significant progress, maybe it's not the strategy that you need to change. Maybe it's your beliefs. Basically, you've got to prove that your beliefs are true by your actions. So if you want to make progress in fitness, keep eating clean, track your calories, track your macros, learn more about fitness, research about the exercise. If you want to make progress in your business, keep doing deep work, develop new skills, learn about marketing, sales, learn about copywriting, content creation. So this is how to prove your actions. First, you've got to realize that if you want to achieve big things in life, you got to take actions. If you have every information about starting a successful business, but you don't take that information into actions, it's basically useless. Second, you've got to learn specific knowledge. You should learn new things every single day because there's no limit to science and there's no limit to the skills you want to develop. Third, you've got to validate your beliefs every day. See, if you don't push yourself in the gym, you won't achieve that aesthetic physique. If you stop doing deep work, you won't get money from your business. It's easy to invalidate your beliefs, just stop doing it. But to make it true, you've got to keep doing things that are required. You say you want to shape your dream body, but you keep ordering that fast food. You say you want to make money online, but you don't do deep work. You scroll on social media. Your actions matter more than your beliefs, but your beliefs dictate your actions. If you don't take the actions that validate your beliefs, you won't achieve your goals because the reality you want to live in is behind the big wall that you need to push through every single day. To create your reality, you need to build your beliefs and validate it with your actions. So the last step is that you need to create your own reality. People don't have their own reality. They always said, if I were born rich, I will do X. And this is not the case for you because you have full control on everything. So at this point, you deserve your reality because you build your beliefs and you validate it through your actions. The actions you take every day will compound over time and create the reality. And this is the goal, the life you truly want to live it. And I've got to say that I'm pretty happy with the life that I'm living. Of course, I'm still in university. I don't have the normal job. I can choose what time I go to the gym. I can choose what type of work I want to do. In this case, I'm making content on YouTube. So reality is the true life you want. This is not the reality most people are believing. The social programming. Go to school, get good grades, get a job, and live the next 40 years trading your time with money. Here's how to create your reality. First, realize that most people don't live their dream life. They are forced to live in one city, living in one house, and driving one car every single day for the next 40 years. Second, you always need to validate your beliefs through your actions. That's how you create your own reality, not the reality that society tells you. Third, it will take years or even decades. It depends on how long you can validate your beliefs through your actions, how long you can keep pushing yourself before you quit. I've seen people quit too early in their journey. So when I started making content on YouTube, I had two friends back in high school. We're all talking about the business ideas, how we can make money online, having this dream lifestyle. But 2 years later, both of them already quit. I surround myself with local business owners at the gym. My reality is better than it was 3 years ago. I don't have people to talk to about business, but now I can talk with people on the same path. It took me 3 years to build the reality I want. It will take you less than that if you are focused. Now I want you to implement the 3 mental models in your life. Always validate your beliefs through your actions. So if you want to make the progress faster and get out of this endless loop, so that you can start doing the hobby you want, start the business you want, consider working one-on-one with me. I have one-on-one program that will help you to fix your procrastination and start to focus on what matters. So in the next 12 weeks, I guarantee you 100% that you will at least have the CEO level of focus and achieve the goals you want to achieve. So I want you to join now, firstly, in the description below. Also, grab my $1 ebook to learn about the 10 business lessons I've learned since I was 12 years old. Link in the description below. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.